The president's clear message to the new Democratic House majority even before they're really getting started. Get off my back. So where do things stand right now? Joining me right now is the Democratic Congresswoman from California, Karen Bass. She sits on the House Judiciary Committee. Congresswoman, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
When you heard that last night from President Trump, did you take that as some kind of a threat?
Well, no, I don't take it as a threat. I just take it as another example of him still not understanding how the democratic process worked. So he said it just doesn't work this way. No, actually it does. There are three co-equal branches of government, and one of our primary responsibilities in the House of Representatives and in the Senate is to provide oversight over the administration. This is the new reality that he is going to have to get used to. So I hope that somebody sits him down and explains the democratic process.
Maybe put another way, the president might be saying that if the Democratic House majority spends the bulk of their time and committee resources on looking into him and his administration with investigations, then they're not going to have time doing anything else. Do you hear what he's saying about that?
Well, I think that's exactly not true. We are going to do our responsibility. You see, the thing is, and one of the reasons why he's confused is because for the last 2 years, there has been no oversight over this administration at all. So he's going to have to get used to that reality. But I can guarantee you that the Democratic majority has a very robust, proactive, positive agenda that we are going to fight for over these next few years. So he's going to see that we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
We're all watching as that will play out. Speaking of walking and chewing gum at the same time, your committee has oversight over the Justice Department, of course. The acting Attorney General, Matt Whitaker, is testifying before your committee on Friday. The chairman, Jerry Nadler, he's already said that he's having a subpoena drafted, though, in case Whitaker doesn't show up or claims executive privilege to avoid answering some questions. I do wonder, Congresswoman, why draft the subpoena ahead of time? Do you have an indication that he's not going to answer your questions?
Well, I think that we have to be prepared for that because, you know, it's not really clear because the administration doesn't quite understand the role of the House of Representatives. It's not clear whether they are going to comply. You do know that Secretary Nielsen said she was not going to come before the House Homeland Security Committee, and the chairman, Benny Thompson, had to prepare a subpoena. Now, before he enacted that subpoena, she did agree to testify. So I think it's absolutely right that we need to prepare subpoenas because we don't know whether this administration plans to cooperate. Hopefully they will understand the co-equal branches of government before too long, and they will realize that it's their obligation to comply when they're called before the House.
I mean, let's say he shows up. He still has the subpoena drafted. I mean, do you see a scenario where the chairman hands Whitaker a subpoena in the middle of a hearing?
No, I don't. I mean, I think if Whitaker comes, I mean, for goodness sake, I would hope that he comes with the intention of being compliant. I don't know whether the chairman would hand him a subpoena right there at the hearing. But you know what? If that's what he needs to do to get them to understand that they need to comply with the way our government operates, then so be it.
What do you most want to hear from the acting Attorney General, or what is your big question right now?
Well, I think the main thing is whether or not he is going to try to block the Mueller report, because we don't know whether or not that report will become available before a new Attorney General is sworn in. So I think that's one thing. And then also for him to be accountable for all of the statements that he's made, basically saying that a president cannot and should not be held accountable. So we need to know, okay, that's what you said on CNN, but now that you're in this position, where do you stand?
How confident are you right now that the Mueller report will be made public?
Well, you know what? I don't know. The question will be whether or not this administration tries to block it from becoming public. I can't imagine that Mueller wouldn't want it to become public, but we will see. We will see if the administration tries to block it, and then there'll be a standoff between the two. But I think at the end of the day, it will become public. It's absolutely critical that it become public. The whole country has been waiting over the last 2 years what is going on, and the idea that he would complete the investigation and then it would be squashed, I think there would be a terrible backlash in the country. It would be very unhealthy for our country.
Even from the perspective of Republican Senator Chuck Grassley, his point is American taxpayers pay for this investigation. They should see what comes out of it. He's on the same page with you on that. You are also the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus.
Yes.
you've called for the Virginia governor to resign over
Yes.
the racist photo and his reaction to it, quite frankly. The
That's
lieutenant governor, Virginia politics is a mess right now because the lieutenant governor,
Yes.
he is now facing a sexual assault allegation that he has vehemently denied. The woman, Vanessa Tyson, she's working now with the same firm that represented Christine Blasey Ford
Right.
when she took on Brett Kavanaugh. And I looked back, and back then, your campaign put out a statement saying, "I believe you and I'm with you," to Christine Blasey Ford. Should this woman be heard now?
Absolutely, she should be. I don't believe in a double standard at all. I first of all think that the governor should step down. That's a separate issue. If the lieutenant governor were to assume the governor's position, and I don't know what the process is in Virginia, but I think she absolutely should be heard. Whatever process is appropriate in Virginia should be followed. Maybe he wouldn't be able to take the seat. Maybe it would have to go to the attorney general. I don't know what the specific situation is, but I do not believe in a double standard, and I do believe that everybody should be held accountable.
Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.